Let's start with the most obvious talking point. Squirrels are not aliens. I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people think that.
I do believe the squirrel he's referring to is an alien, though.
Oh.
Okay. But
Actually, that is an alien squirrel.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Breakroom. It's Monday, March 9th, and there's a lot going on in the nerd world to stay on top of, so we're going to do a roundup of the headlines. Brian, hit the graphic.
Yeah.
Hit the boom. I'm Alex Berg. With me today out here in front of the camera is Abby Freel and also Brian Kim.
We're out here.
We're out here.
The A-team.
Yeah, truly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man, A-team. Truly, Brian was going to be behind the camera today, and then when he looked at all the stuff we had to talk about, he got excited and decided to join us out here. So thank you, Brian, for coming out of the shadows.
You don't have to be in your little cave.
That's true.
Yeah,
I don't need to be in the little producer box. I want to out here. I want to talk about it. I guess I could have talked about it over there, but
it's different.
The vibes are different.
It's better if you're up here. We like it more, right? Like
Berg didn't want to hang out with me.
The vibes were off.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed when you were over there instead of over here. But
yeah,
the
I was
vibes
like,
why you're in
that's
between.
awkward. Yeah, it was actually a producer call. I was like, I need to really make sure you guys are okay.
Yeah. I got to rein this in. This is too much.
Yeah.
It was getting too bravo. Okay, well let's do first things first, you guys. We have a bunch of. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I didn't even read the script. I was getting into the trailers. I forgot. We have the results of the draft.
That's right.
So last week, Brian, Abby, and myself did a draft to try to pick our dream team to defeat Doom. At the time, everybody said, "Berg, your picks are great. Berg, you're doing this the best, better than the rest of us."
I don't know who.
We can roll. We don't have time to roll the tape, but I think that was one of you was saying that. And at the end, we were like, just in case we're wrong, let's let the audience vote on it. So Brian posted a poll. You guys voted. Here are the final results of who won the draft.
Bam.
Whoa!
Pretty close.
Honestly, like Abby had a great team. I'm actually shocked how small my portion of the pie is. That I'm like, oh my god, only 13% of you guys agree with me?
It's tough.
Come on.
I don't know.
To see.
I think the people have spoken.
Something I want to point out is my team was blue and my slice of the pie is blue. And I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I like the. We were all about synergy last week. I like the synergy there.
I did it on purpose.
Well, I just want to say, you're welcome.
Yeah. Do you have like a victory speech or anything prepared?
No, I just know that team would have defeated Doom.
Yeah, the Sentry Professor X combo was very.
I think that was the one.
That was more like.
That'll do it.
As soon as it happened, all three of us were like, "That is probably the way to go about it." So that was we'll do more of those drafts, and when we do, we'll be sure to get you guys involved in voting on who wins. It's normally me, but it's nice to get an outside opinion, just to see how other people think about it. We also have some big news. Fans of Andor and Game of Thrones are having their Venn diagram overlap moment because Beau Willimon is in talks. Beau Willimon, who was a writer on Andor, is in talks to do a Game of Thrones project. We don't really have a ton of specifics on it yet, other than people have seen the script and are jazzed.
Yeah.
So where did you two sit on the Andor spectrum? Were you like pro Andor, no Andor?
Pro?
Oh,
yeah, 100%. Pro.
Yeah, I was. I mean, that was like one of my favorite things on TV last year. Won a Saturn Award for Best Sci-Fi TV Series this weekend. But yeah. So to and you guys know my stance on Game of Thrones from various ranking videos we've done.
Yeah.
I was a huge fan of the books, and I felt burned by the TV show. This is the kind of news that might bring me back out of the cold.
Yeah, I think it would have to depend on what it is for me.
Yeah,
sure.
Because I think the rumors that it was like Aegon the Conqueror.
Yeah.
Which could go either way.
Yeah, sure.
In terms of my excitement / the execution of it.
Yeah.
But as someone who I love the Targaryen stuff, like I've I've read Fire and Blood like 3 times, even though it's not even that exciting of a book.
No, it's kind of just like a small
It's a history
encyclopedia.
book,
Yeah.
So I'm excited, and I think the Andor team working on it that's what we wanted from Game of Thrones at the end.
Sure, right.
That's what made Game of Thrones good, was the politics and the nuances of it all.
And I think if they do the Aegon the Conqueror like story, I think that's probably one of the more cinematic stories that they could tell.
Yeah.
Because it's about a guy like taking over and like uniting the kingdoms. And like, Warner Brothers, HBO, like this is one of their big IPs. And I think they're like, oh, well, we got to keep, it's kind of like how they're trying to revive Harry Potter, because it's like that's one of their big tentpole IPs.
Yeah, we built the whole ride for it. We got we have a Hogwarts like over there. Yeah,
and especially with the like response to Knights of the Seven Kingdoms, they're like, oh, okay, people still care about this world. This is still important to us as an IP.
Well, they're building out their Star Trek, right? Like they want Game of Thrones to be something where you can take a character like Dunk, who no one really knows, and just tell a good story around that character. One of the things that surprised me about Andor, because I remember when Andor was announced, being like, they're going to do 2 seasons of a TV show based on that guy from Rogue One,
dead.
Yeah, and then I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
And so I trust Beau Willimon to put story before lore, and to have it be character driven and also probably like relevant in some way, about the consolidation of power and the promise and perils thereof, So this is to me good news. It's very early on. It could go through development hell. It might never see the light of day. Who knows? But I'm optimistic.
I like that.
Yeah, I think the biggest meta question is like, after Warner Brothers.
Yes.
That.
Who was that? Spidey Sense 72 subscribing with Prime. Thank you, Spidey Sense.
Thank you.
Spidey Sensei. Sorry.
Spidey Sensei. Oh, I just realized that's probably the pun. It's a Spidey Sense.
I think it must
Spidey
be.
Sensei.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, like with Warner Brothers going to be merged with Paramount, well, we'll see. That's another question. Like, is this movie even going to come out? Because there's so much stuff they need to like figure out first.
It'll come out. I mean, one of the things Paramount claims it's going to do is put out 30 movies a year.
True.
And if you take the TV budget of like 3 episodes of a Game of Thrones show, that could be like a character-driven movie. Like, you shoot that in Romania or like, Belgrade or something like that. Like, you can make those dollars stretch.
I think they're gonna milk Game of Thrones until it's truly proven to not be worth it.
Yes.
And that has not been the case so far.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah. The juice is worth the squeeze.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, well, let's get into the trailer trawl. We've had, since the last time the 3 of us did a headline show, we've had roughly 2,000 trailers come out, I think. We had a bunch last week that came out that we covered on New Rockstars, but we didn't get a chance to geek out over here. And moments before we started taping, the final trailer for Super Mario Galaxy came out. Yeah, we're already getting news from the chat. Luis Guzman as Wart, which is a deep cut.
That's
a deep cut.
I brought this up before in like a previous headlines, but they're putting so much into this Mario movie.
There's a lot
that I'm getting a little worried that it's too much. But
someone here is saying we've got Donald Glover as Yoshi.
Wait. Is that real?
I don't know. I don't know. That's like Ben Schwartz as BB-8, where it's like, but
or like, will it be like a Don Cheadle DuckTales thing where he has like Donald Duck has a really deep voice?
There's the real voice.
Yeah.
Yoshi has like a real voice, which is Donald Glover. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out. So we're gonna watch through a bunch of trailers. We will get to the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer shortly. But let's start with The Boys. The Boys is going into its final season, season 5, which will cap off sort of the Homelander saga along with the 2 seasons of Gen V we've seen so far. No news yet as to whether or not we've got a Gen V season 3 incoming. I'm skeptical. I like the show.
It was based on if people would have watched season 2.
Yeah, so
I don't know if they did.
Yeah, so I hope they do. But okay, so let's check out the trailer for The Boys season 5.
All right, that's Daredevil, but I will not be playing that.
We can switch it.
No, let's do Boys. Okay.
Right.
Okay, pretty sure those are Charlie Cox's tiny feet.
It's impressive. I mean, this is a classic freaking put a halo around his head.
Yeah, man. forget that Butcher has his like super cancer still.
Yeah.
Super cancer.
Right? Isn't that what
It is.
Yeah.
It is the cancer.
Canonically?
You guys are friends?
Utah.
Cute.
The fact that I've come around on oh god, I'm blanking on his name. Fast Man.
A-Train.
A-Train. The fact that I've come around on A-Train is such a testament to the writing and the acting on this show. Like,
Yeah.
I should hate that character through and through. And I'm like, nah, man, this guy got used by Vought the same as everyone else, you know. But yeah, I'm so stoked for this. I think that trailer really works for me. I think it's gonna be fun as hell.
Yeah. I'm thinking about Homelander trying to become immortal,
Yeah.
and I'm scared. But also,
Sure.
Homelander's just in general scary.
Yes, he's so terrifying.
Yeah. So hopefully they don't let him do that.
I do wonder, like, this was actually brought up on the sneak peek episode. So if you guys want to check out that, we have Eric and Jess's opinion on this as well. But like, since the whole thing is that he's trying to be immortal, like, I wonder if they're going to make it so that he wins. Like, and it's going to be a kind of more, like, how tragic are they going to make this story? Is it going to be like, oh my God, it's like a thing, because they want to continue this world as well. There's a kind of incentive to make it so that it doesn't like end here.
Well, it's interesting that like the continuations we know of that are confirmed. Like we know Project Vought or Generation. What's the World War II one with Ayakash and Soldier Boy? That one is Vought Rising. There we go. I got there eventually, and then we've heard stuff about The Boys Mexico, but we don't know if that's confirmed when that's set.
I don't know if it has movement.
Yeah, I don't know. So it's possible that they're continuing this world by kind of going, yes! Who is this? Gotham Knight 007. Thank you, Gotham Knight, 33 Month Street. I've been Pavloved into just having to pump a fist anytime we get a Twitch sound. You know, I wonder if they're like, yeah, hey, we're done now. All the other stories are going to be in the past, like, you know, in the same world leading up to it. I don't know that that's the case. Period stuff is very expensive to produce, very difficult, but that is one option.
Yeah, I think regardless, I'm super excited for like whatever final battle there's gonna have.
Yes.
There's gonna be like, it's like war with like all of Homelander's guys and then all of the boys guys. This being the final season, they're gonna go like all balls to the wall.
Oh yeah.
And you know, I gotta say, I bet when they first started making this series, they weren't aware of how relevant all of this is going to be in like our real world.
Yeah, I mean, Eric Kripke has flat out gone like, no, we're just telling the story of Homelander. Like, it just kind of, the reality caught up to us. We didn't think this far ahead.
I almost think, like, reality caught up, but then reality, like, surpassed the show.
Yes.
And so it's, like, it's almost past that era of, like, oh, my God, this is so, like, it's almost like this is so 2021.
If Homelander just, like, I don't know, kidnapped the president of Venezuela, we'd be like, tame. Tame. You know, like,
true.
It's, it wouldn't really.
I don't know if I agree. Like, it's still super shocking in that.
Sure.
Where it's like, this is the boys.
We are in the boys.
We are the boys.
I think the boys is both at its strongest and at its weakness when it's going for like the edgelord shock humor, because like that's the times it's the most fun. That's also the times when it runs the highest risk of feeling a little bit like immature, you know, like whereas a grown man, I'm watching it going like, come on, do I have to see another penis explode this week? You know, whatever.
Right.
But ultimately for me, that's a nitpick. I really love the show. I think the storytelling and the writing and the fucking acting has been so good, so consistent across the boys and Gen V. You know, and I'm really excited for the final season.
Yeah.
Same.
There's going to be a lot of loose ends that are hopefully being tied up that I'm excited to see. Like, what is Sage's end plan here? Is she going to just like, let's just make Homelander immortal? I don't know, but...
that doesn't feel right because she wants the power. She's only using him, you know, like Homelander thinks he's going to get immortal if he gets V1.
It's kind of a Star Wars Power of Two thing.
Oh, sure.
But also, like, the apprentice always overcomes the master.
That's true.
And the Sith.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe
Sage. You think the chances are Sage shows up with a red lightsaber at some point during
I don't know how else she's gonna freaking. She really is able to finesse a lot of things with no powers besides just being smart.
Yes. Today's episode of The Breakroom is sponsored by Factor. As the weather warms up and my shape is determined less by my bulky jacket and more by the food that I eat, I'm looking for ways to eat healthy more frequently. Factor makes that easy by delivering fresh meals to my door and helping me plan out my week. Factor's chef-crafted, dietitian-approved meals are as tasty as they are healthy, and you can literally go from opening the box to eating in 2 minutes. It's great for hangry people like myself. Factor can help you feel your best all day long with wholesome smoothies, breakfasts, grab-and-go snacks, and more add-ons. A few days ago, I had a shredded chicken taco bowl that was only 550 calories, and it was great. Way better than anything I'd make myself, and I didn't have to spend any time on the way home from work hunting down ingredients at Ralph's. I just popped it in the microwave and boom, healthy dinner, ready to go. Head to factormeals.com/breakroom50off and use code breakroom50off to get 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Offer only valid for new Factor customers with code and qualifying auto-renewing subscription purchase. Make healthier eating easier with Factor. And thanks to Factor for sponsoring today's episode. Okay, well, let's move on to our next trailer. Next trailer we're going to look at is the Lanterns trailer, which, to the effect that DC's TV efforts of late have been like, well, the Penguin was basically DC leaning into The Sopranos. It feels sure as shit like the Lanterns is DC leaning into True Detective.
Yeah.
So let's watch the trailer, and then I will save the rest of my thoughts for afterwards.
Ooh, I mean, they show the ring immediately. I do like they just cut to this because presumably he used the powers.
Yeah, he did something.
But they're just not showing us in the trailers.
If you didn't know this was a superhero story, the trailer would not fill you in on it until like the very end.
This is my town.
I also love how open the animosity is.
Yeah.
Like
100%. He's flying.
That's the only moment in the entire trailer.
I mean, he's got the thing out.
Yeah.
I'm the only human. They're aliens. One of them's a fucking squirrel.
You gonna end it with a joke?
Now, let's start with the most obvious talking point. Squirrels are not aliens. I know a lot of people say that. A lot of people think that. They are rodents. That's a different thing.
I do believe the squirrel he's referring to is an alien, though.
Oh.
Okay.
Actually, that is an alien squirrel. That's not a regular squirrel.
Yeah, we got mammal facts are coming back. But yeah, I mean, again, like, I don't know if I'm just like in a trailer mood, but like that trailer is fucking great to me. Like I love that we just don't. It doesn't feel like a superhero thing at all.
Oh, sure.
It just feels like a crime story.
You're kind of on the hot take end of that spectrum in terms of the Gen Pop. Think of it.
What's Gen Pop say?
That where's the green?
Who cares?
And that, and also it's kind of tired, like the dynamic between Hal and what is his name, Stewart?
Jon Stewart.
Jon Stewart,
Yeah.
like where it's like the younger character needs to earn his right to the powers or the whatever,
Sure.
As well as the color. They are the Gen Z is upset about the color.
Like that, it's all kind of muted. And
There's
dusty.
no green.
It's not like green,
where
like
is the
bright
green?
Yeah,
Right.
Where's the green? Where are their powers?
I think we're gonna find it by the end of the
But
season.
it's like also like that's what Ryan Reynolds' movie is for. If you're really looking for green.
Right.
Yeah, who's the big warthog Green Lantern? I always forget his name. You know the one I'm talking about? He's like,
I think I do know what you're talking about, but I don't know his name either.
But no, I liked it. I think my dad's gonna like it.
Sure.
I think it's giving HBO like True Detective.
Yeah.
Like, dads are gonna love it, and as well as not dads. You don't have to be a dad, but it's just giving that aesthetic, and I feel like that's who the trailer is referring to.
Scoop Ball 0420 Kilowog. Thank you. It is Kilowog.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, when I think back to the parts of superhero TV shows that I have felt the most like let down by or like the least excited about, I look at something like it's always like the last episode of like a WandaVision or an Agatha where it's like, hey, and now we have these characters who have these crazy powers and it's just shooting bolts of energy at one another as if we couldn't come up with anything more like clever than just gunplay, as opposed to like the third act of Doctor Strange when he's fighting Dormammu, and it's this like weird time
Yeah.
loop thing. It's a lot more creative. And so with this Lanterns trailer, for me, I'm like, yeah, great. Don't focus it around the powers. Don't focus it around the superhero stuff. Focus it around like, hey, there's this like interpersonal tension. We have to deal with this thing in this town. These people don't want us here. We're outsiders. Like that feels like a meatier way to drive a story. And then the superhero stuff comes in as like a little bit of a tasty spice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's my take. That's my take.
No, I think that's super valid, and I feel like that's probably what is gonna end up happening.
Yeah.
But also there's like Nathan Fillion's gonna be in it. I think Sinestro's gonna be in it.
Yeah.
And so there's still gonna be like all of that DC stuff, which will be good. I just think the trailer maybe didn't need, like, that's not what they were going for with this trailer.
No.
Because I think they have to trick people a little bit. Because I feel like Green Lantern itself is a little muddied, just as a brand.
Well, the Ryan Reynolds one was.
Yeah, but and there's no.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
That's the only one.
Yeah,
And like even in the comics, you know, I was never like a big Green Lantern reader. I was aware of Green Lantern, but like there's been so many that it's not as like, oh, there's Superman. You know, it's like, well, no, I am Green Lantern, but I'm a different Green Lantern. You know, like it feels like this is a nice way in for people who might not already be pretty steeped in things.
Yeah, I think it's a good entry point.
Yeah, for sure. For
a lot of people.
Yeah, and like I think that's what's a little bit, at least for me, kind of confusing is that we know that like other lanterns are going to be in here, and even like Sinestro as like a yellow lantern. They can't bring those characters in without really using the powers.
Oh yeah.
So I find it, I do find it a little interesting that the trailers didn't show basically any of it, and I guess it is to bring in like the normie group. I can understand why like fans of the franchise are like, it feels like they're maybe a little bit ashamed of the, like, it's the X-Men era, like 2000s era hero where it's like there's a little bit of a shame with like just being
we can't
hero.
put the spandex on.
Yeah, exactly, stuff like that. Where I think as nerds who love IP, they're like, just do IP. At the same time, I think it's smart to try to capture a wider audience than just the fans, which I'm sure this is what they're trying to do. It's like, oh, this is going to be interesting. Even if you don't care about like superheroes, this will be interesting.
Yeah.
And there's always going to be a disconnect with that. This is like a side tangent, but I was just for fun kind of like researching like the Wii era of like Nintendo. And
I got Rex for you, my friend.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. But please, I don't mean to cut you off.
No, you're good. What I forgot in looking back, was core gamers actually hated the Wii.
Yeah.
And I totally forgot that's what happened because I love the Wii.
Waggle controls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was the fact that like, well, what is this? This isn't for gamers. This is like a toy for like regular people, and they're pissed. But it created like a huge new generation who loves games. So I think that's like kind of what they're trying to go for.
I think, you know, one of the things with the Wii specifically as a platform and what Nintendo's always been into, like having some weird thing, you know, like is it Yokoi Gunpei, I believe, who invented the Game Boy, like, and the light zapper, like,
oh sure, yeah,
his sort of history before he started working with Nintendo was working in these like, you know, like laser arenas. He invented Game & Watch. Nintendo really has this DNA of like, let's do something weird first, and it doesn't always work. Sometimes you get the Virtual Boy, you know, or the Wii U, which was like awful, you know. But with the Wii, they very specifically were like, look, we can't compete with PS3 on graphics. We're not going to try to. We're going to try to do something that's like a little bit more novel. Really kind of, can we finally deliver on the promise of the Power Glove 20 years later? You know, and they did. But with Green Lanterns, or with lanterns, not even Green Lanterns.
Yeah.
You know, one thing I've been thinking about a lot lately with Road to Doomsday, and Doomsday, by the way, check out Road to Doomsday anywhere you find your podcasts, is like, you know, what is the entry point? At this point, Marvel's been going really strong for almost 20 years. There's a whole generation of people for whom, like, Marvel's just been a constant background buzz in their media diet their entire lives, as opposed to us, where it was like, well, no, I was like already a full-fledged adult when Iron Man came out. It was like, here's an entry point. Thor's an entry point. Captain America's an entry point. In a way that is different from something like Thunderbolts, or, you know, certainly like Brave New World. And so I like seeing these entry points for new fans.
Yeah.
I feel like the DCU needs an entry point because is this not the first not James Gunn directed thing? Like besides Peacemaker, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I know like Supergirl, but that's like future.
But and that'll
the
be
next
out, but it's like that still feels like a James Gunn
The
equivalent.
DNA, yeah,
I know
yeah.
it's all
Yeah.
he's managing it, but it's like I feel like the writing team is really good, and so I feel like it's a real test to can they pull off having an entry point to just new people that might have not even seen Superman or over Marvel.
Yeah, and I'm always going to go back to the Penguin, which is like, man, if you'd never heard of Batman somehow, right? You've been living under a rock. You've never heard of Batman, and someone just showed you the Penguin. You'd be like, this is a good show.
Yeah.
I want more of this. And then you'd go see Batman, you know? And like, I'm all on board for that. I think they're going for the Taylor Sheridan crowd.
Oh, yeah. That's why do you have, why else do you
guitar,
have,
like,
why
it's
else do you
the
have
way
Kyle,
she hates me.
Yeah. Why else do you have Kyle Chandler? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they even put a shot of a football field in just to be like,
yeah,
Friday Night
a guy
Lights.
on a horse for no reason.
Yeah. So
interesting.
But you know what? Taylor Sheridan shows, people watch
They do
them.
bank.
Yeah.
They do bank.
So.
Not my bank, but someone's bank. All right, let's move on. We got one more trailer last week that had a bunch of kick-ass stuff in it. Daredevil Born Again Season 2 is coming very soon. We're just a couple weeks away from the premiere. And we got another trailer. Brian, hit it!
Yeah, I think it's a TV spot that was playing.
It was a little shorter, but we still got some new stuff in there.
This has gotten so out of hand.
It's my girl.
Can you stop him?
Oh my God. This song.
I am so excited that Kristen Ritter's back as Jessica Jones. I thought, for me, that was I thought Jessica Jones season 1 was like a phenomenal season of TV and did a really great job adapting Alias specifically.
Yeah, 100%.
I don't know. What are you guys' thoughts on Daredevil?
I think the first season was kind of like mixed bag for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But this trailer, I think it was like super hype. And I think they were like really showing like this is gonna be action. It's gonna be like a lot of like fun moments. And I think the choice to use Lithuania, I think that's Lithuania. That's a
Lithuania is a
place.
different place. Yeah.
That's a place. Is a pretty inspired choice because it's a newer song, but it kind of mimics the vibe of like 2000s era pop punk, where it's like, oh, this is a new version of what you remember feeling and like that era of music. This is Daredevil. It's a new Daredevil, but you'll get the same feeling as you were watching the Netflix Daredevil.
Yeah, I mean, Donald Glover graduated college the same year I did. No way he didn't like have an emotional response to Blink 182 when he was 18 and they were all over TRL, you know. But yeah, Abby, what about you?
Well, I actually thought that TV spot was a terribly edited TV spot.
Ooh, give us the editor's perspective.
No, I just hated the sound cues and the end. I didn't like the mix of the music. Anyway.
Really?
Wow.
I mean, it was
the technical takedown.
Yeah, that's my take. And now I got distracted by my actual thoughts on it. I don't know. Daredevil Born Again is kind of like, to me. I have seen all of the Netflix shows and they were always like fine.
Sure.
And then I feel like the show is kind of the little engine that could in terms of like, wow, that's really, I don't even know if it's the little engine that could. It's almost just like Kevin Feige being like, here, like, here you go. It's the exact opposite of Lanterns in terms of entry point.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
And
sure.
It's kind of bogged down and like they like even backtracked on, oh, don't worry, you don't have to have watched the Netflix shows, and they have only ever like dug deeper into the Netflix lore, and like it's every time it's like good, it's great, and every time it's bad, it's just like boring, which is a travesty.
Tough.
Yeah. And so I'm excited and I'm like hopeful, but it just feels like even if it is amazing, no one's gonna care. That's my take. I don't know. I just feel like I'm excited for Jessica Jones, and I'm hoping that I'm excited for her. I don't necessarily need like Danny Rand Iron Fist like running around soon, but like or like I would like Luke Cage. Like was it Coulter? Mike
Yeah,
Coulter.
But
But
that show was uneven to me. The first
Season one
half
is-
of that show
Yeah.
was really good. The first half of season 1 was really good.
and then it kind of goes.
Yeah.
And
Once
so,
we lost Mahershala Ali.
and so I don't know. I've always been very like hit or miss with that little subsection of the MCU.
Yeah.
And honestly, maybe I still just have PTSD from having to edit the reactions last season.
That's fair.
That I'm like, which I don't think we're doing that. But again, I don't know unless you guys want it.
Oh, true.
And I will happily edit them.
Get the sound mix right. You better.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, no, I don't even know. I didn't really have coherent thoughts about it. I'm just like, we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to be like skeptical of like where they're going, but because I am of two minds. You're right that like them going back to what was like Netflix stuff, like really digging their heels in, does make this a lot harder to approach to like the average person.
Yeah.
Especially in a time where Marvel needs more people to like come in,
Mm-hmm.
and so
And it's maybe, sorry to cut you off,
No, you're
it's
good.
going to be one of the only consistent Marvel TV shows. And I feel
Yeah.
like, I don't know about you, a lot of people who watch the Netflix shows did not watch Daredevil Born Again.
oh sure,
You know?
Well, as someone who watched the Netflix shows and started watching Daredevil Born Again,
Why didn't you finish?
the quality was all over the place.
Yeah.
You know, there was a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and that stuff, I think, part of what makes me optimistic, not quite excited, but optimistic for season 2, is a lot of that stuff was very frankly and publicly acknowledged by
Right.
the execs in a way that you don't always see. You know, like,
Yeah.
and to the point where, like, after season 1 came out, there was kind of like this apology tour era of press from Marvel where they were like, we get it, you know, like, and so I'm hoping that that season 2 is them going, here's the show we wanted to make. Because I think the show they
Yeah.
wanted to make was better than the show they
It
made.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
And so maybe it'll be okay and we'll all be happy. I mean, the action looks good. I
Yeah.
feel like that's what people want. They
Yeah.
just want to see Daredevil
Give me more hallway fight. Keep me
doing
fighting
that
all
in
of
a
them.
hallway. That's all we want.
doing this, yeah,
Yes.
hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well, Brian, if you are ready on the tech side,
Slay.
I think that we are ready to move on to the final trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which dropped, like, I think right when we started this stream.
Yeah.
So none of us have watched it yet. Let's go into it cold. Brian,
I feel like every time I'm on Breakroom, there's another
Mario trailer.
there's another Mario
interesting,
trailer, and I have to
interesting. You're
talk
the
about
brain.
it.
I'm
Look,
excited.
that's Shy Guy right there.
Oh my god,
That's Shy Guy.
he's so shy.
Okay, it's the Eye of
Reverse.
Aldani.
Yoshi, Starbits, Disclosure Day.
Did that toad just die?
Yeah.
Oh, it's so,
Oh
yeah.
my god, they're drowning.
It's feeling very 9/11 so far. I mean, I'm just...
Oh, so Yoshi's in this scene. I think he was like kind of edited out
Yeah.
when the original version.
Yeah, they
Oh, yeah,
didn't
yeah.
show him.
Okay, that's giving Revenant. Right?
Oh, the giant flowers. Maybe that's a Gusty Garden reference. Oh, I think that was
That's
there's
Wart? Oh, yeah. And all
he's
little
running the
ninja guys?
casinos.
Okay.
Oh my god, what is this movie? He did the Wahoo.
Was that a tickets on sale trailer?
This is
I
the
think
final
this is the
trailer.
final trailer.
So it might be.
Oh?
Oh.
Okay, all right. I was
The
like,
return.
No,
no,
it is a.
Tickets
Gotta
on
get
sale?
my tickets.
yeah.
Gotta go get it right now. This has been the most Galaxy of the trailers.
Yeah,
that
the
we've
last
seen.
one was straight up Odyssey.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one's very Galaxy. Yeah, Wart seems like he's going to be like a brief cameo, maybe like a Cranky Kong level sort of appearance for this film. But Luis Guzman is fantastic casting for Wart. That's great. And I guess Donald Glover is Yoshi.
I don't know if that. I guess we don't know yet.
Who said that?
Someone said it in the Twitch chat.
And Twitch never lies. They never do.
Was that facts?
Is it facts? Twitch chat, please feed me lies. I will read them.
Yeah, that's the lesson. Actually, say anything you want.
Yeah.
Tell me
Berg will say
lies,
it.
tell me sweet little lies. Yeah, I mean, it looks fun. It does feel like there's so much going on, you know, like which the trailers can kind of make any movie feel that way if they want to. Christian Unpronounceable is saying they saw it in a tweet. Saying this is Meg510 saying Donald Glover as Yoshi is equivalent to Vin Diesel as Groot.
That's, you know what?
Yeah, that's spot on.
I just can't imagine Donald Glover like making those noises.
I mean, he's a goofy guy.
He's a goofy dude.
He's a goofy guy.
You do Yoshi.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I can't do that.
I mean, Donald Glover was a comedy dude before he was
true.
a hip hop star and like, you know, uber artist.
I just can't imagine like men with like deep registers like doing the Yoshi voice.
Oh, whoa, hang on.
Hey,
We have deep voices.
Yeah.
You guys watched new season of Yellowstone?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I mean, for me, the main thing this movie makes me want to do is go home and play Mario Tennis Fever.
That's so funny.
You know, like I'm
Of
just
all
like
the games?
well, it's just the newest one.
Oh, I heard Daisy's sick or dead.
What?
Or
In-
Peach is dead? Who's dead?
In the game?
In Mario
In
Tennis?
She's like sick. Did I spoil it for you?
I don't
God.
think I have not run into any ailing characters.
I've seen a screenshot of a character in bed.
Oh, so interesting.
And she's like dead, and I can't remember if it's like Peach or Daisy.
Oh, weird. No, I haven't run into that. I've just been doing like the weirdo like tournament mode where it's like get these ring scores.
Maybe it's in the story mode. Did you play story mode?
Yeah.
No, I haven't played story mode. I've done a couple of tournaments
Well,
and I've done one of those
spoiler
hours.
alert.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert for
Someone's
Wii
dead.
Tennis, or what is it, Mario Tennis?
Tennis.
Yeah,
Fever?
yeah, and Switch 2. But yeah, it just because you know my fundamental connection with the Mario games is playing them.
True.
So like to watch one, I'm always a little bit like I can feel my thumbs twitching. You know?
I'm more where you are, Brian. I'm a little stressed. Why is there so many things happening? I'm sure.
Gotta get the merch.
I'm sure it has a 3-act structure, but you can also spread this. You know, you can spread Mario pretty thin.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, he'll be around. You know, and like it almost feels like a lot for a sequel. It felt
Sure,
like
yeah.
it feels like a movie that they didn't know if they were getting another one, so they're like, I guess
throw
we'll
it
put
all.
in Wart.
I wonder
Mario.
if there is like a behind the scenes legal wrangling to be like, we put this character in a film, we get the rights for 20 years. And the sooner we lock
Sure.
that down,
Yeah.
the sooner we lay
And
our
then they
claim
want to
to
do
it.
like that character well.
Yeah, because Nintendo's famously like very protective of its IP, you know.
Yeah.
And so I could see, you know, they waited forever to make a Mario movie after the good one.
Right.
My
you
favorite
know?
Mario movie.
That's everyone's favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, what's interesting is that I mentioned this already. The fact that they went straight to Galaxy to me has always been weird because they had the like proper structure, or they already have a structure in the games of like Mario Land, Mario World, and then
Yeah.
Galaxy, and then Odyssey, and like there's these like it built up pretty like gradually. But the fact they went straight to Galaxy and then stuffed Mario 2 stuff, stuffed Galaxy or Odyssey stuff, put in just things from all kinds of Marios into this one.
Yeah.
Feels like a lot. That being said, you know, not to be a contrarian, but like watching this trailer actually did make me feel like it was going to be not as confusing, because I think all the extra stuff is going to be front loaded in the first like intro. Because like I didn't know, Yoshi's in the like fight against Bowser.
It seems
Jr.
like he's like right there from the jump.
Yeah, he's already in the
Yeah.
castle while the like Galaxy stuff is happening. Because the other trailers made it seem like, thank you for that.
Yes!
It sounds like Mario.
Hoodie.
That sounds like Mario. The other trailers made it seem like the Yoshi aspect, the Odyssey aspects were much bigger.
Yeah.
But this trailer makes it feel like, oh, Yoshi's going to be introduced and all that stuff's going to be first like 10 minutes. And then all
As
the
he
other
should.
stuff. Yeah. And even the casino stuff, it's like Wart is like the mid boss. He's like in the middle where they like, I guess it's kind of like Donkey Kong in the first movie, where Donkey Kong was kind of like the middle boss.
Yeah, yeah.
And then something happens and they tackle Bowser.
Do you think the third one's going to be Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games?
If we get a Mario Sonic collab in the movies, that would
Yes.
be actually crazy. Wait, who is Sonic movie under? I forget.
Paramount.
Oh, so probably.
So no, yeah, because
They're a
Mario's
little
Universal.
busy.
Yeah.
They're a little busy.
Mario movie 1 made a lot. I feel like it did really well.
Oh,
So
yeah.
they should have been confident in this one.
But also part
The
of it
third
is
one?
the again, like every character you put into this movie becomes 1,000 plushies and Neatos, you can sell.
Yeah.
Like they are just, I think that's part of it. And for me, really what I want the plot of Super Mario World where you're like in the Donut Kingdom and you got all the different airships and Ludwig's there, I just want to I want to meet all of Bowser's weird fail sons, So, I'm doing my best to remain optimistic. I didn't like the first one as much as you two did, I don't think.
I mean, I enjoyed it. I saw it opening night, and I haven't thought about it until every time I'm sitting in this break room
in that chair, yeah.
And you guys make me watch a trailer, but I enjoy my Mario movie outings.
This is a kind of a meta thought I was thinking of, generally speaking. Do movies need to be good movies anymore? And what I mean by that is...
That's a really big question.
Short answer, yeah. But not to make money.
I guess that's the big thing.
It's also a different discussion when it comes to children-aimed content.
Sure. Well, maybe we should jump ahead to the Pete Docter stuff of it, if this is the direction the combo's going. And so this is the segue. I have something in the script, but I'm gonna do it live. So Brian's asking do movies need to be good movies? And Brian, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but do they kind of need to have resonant themes? Does the story need to be really moving, or do they just need to be what George Orwell would call pearl feed, and just kind of slop to just keep people in seats for a while? One of the big things this week is Pete Docter, and this I'll turn it back over to Brian momentarily because I just want to get the wording on this right. Pete Docter, who is the chief creative officer of Pixar, he directed Monsters, Inc., Up, Inside Out. He gave an interview with the Wall Street Journal this weekend where he sort of outlined some broad cultural shifts he's overseeing at the company. The article has a lot of specifics. If we have time, we will get into those, particularly about changes Pete Docter's attitudes for changing to erase or otherwise tone down overtly queer themes in Pixar movies. There's more specifics, but this quote I pulled because I think it sums up pretty broadly Pete Docter's position, and then Brian, we can tie this back into your convo. Docter said that Pixar found some parents didn't want entertainment to force them to have a conversation they weren't ready for with their children. Then he said, quote, "We're making a movie, not hundreds of millions of dollars of therapy," end quote. So, Brian, back to you with does a movie need to be good? I would say from a studio's point of view, I think a movie needs to be good. Me, Berg, I think a movie needs to be good. I'm not a filmmaker.
Yeah.
From a studio's point of view, it needs to be profitable.
Yeah.
So how's that make you feel? Huh?
I think that's stupid, and we should only look for profits. We are a company. The thing I think is most interesting about a lot of these art forms in general, and I had this thought about video games as well.
Yeah, sure.
It's the balance between these media as an art form and as a form of entertainment.
And as a business, I would throw in.
And as a business. Yeah. Where, the opportunity for art exists, to create something that means something to people exists. At the same time, I think it was Martin Scorsese who called the Avenger movies or the Marvel movies roller coasters. They're more like rides than movies. I think that's a thing to be considered. These movies, the Mario movies, Five Nights at Freddy's, even. I know that there's a little bit of controversy of if it's a good movie or not, but it's a movie where you point and oh my god, I recognize all that stuff.
Yeah.
And it brings the fans in. The movies can sustain itself with just pure entertainment. So I think that's an interesting thing to ask. I guess it's what's the goal of these people? Is it to create cultural moments, or is it just to create movie or money?
Money. Which,
if that's the goal, then...
You should watch the studio, first of all.
Okay. Sure.
No, I think that's a valid concern, and it's really sweet that you care about the art like that. But that's not where we live right now, where it's people are trying to make money, and every movie release feels very world-ending potential of oh, if this movie doesn't succeed, we won't get 10 versions of this over the next 10 years.
Right.
Or if this does, now like Barbie comes out, everyone put in a Barbie type movie into development. Like Top Gun Maverick comes out, everyone's trying to find their like white dad movie, you know, it's like, but every other time it's like they need to make money because people, every time they like that a thing flops, people are less willing to go to a theater. People are less willing to buy a video game. Yeah. Especially when you're charging that much for that much money. You know, I don't know if that even answers what you were saying.
No, I see the connective tissue there. I mean, for me, you know, I'm of many minds on it. On the one hand, like I want movies to be an art form that like continues. I think movies, you know, you all know me. I play a lot of video games. You know, like these are art forms that have potential for truly transcendent moments. You know, like I think of, you know, the end of Last of Us, the first game. Like when I played that, like was deeply affecting. Same studio, the Uncharted games. Those are roller coasters. You know, and I read a great quote. Someone had asked a media studies professor what his favorite movie was. And he said, I can't answer that because it depends what kind of mood I'm in. You know, like there is no one solid answer. And so to Brian's point, like, does a movie need to be good? What good means is really subjective. You know, like it means something very different to, you know, to like my daughter and her friends. If they're like, hey, we're going to go see a movie as a group of people, like Chicken Jockey is a cultural moment. Yeah. Maybe in a different way into a different subset of the population than something like One Battle After Another. I happen to prefer One Battle After Another, but I'm not everybody, and it's good that I'm not. You know, like Abby mentioned white dad movies. We've got plenty of those. You know, like speaking as a white dad, my people have no shortage of representation or entertainment, you know.
I think it just depends on, like, to answer your question, the goal of the people making the movie. Yeah. And sometimes not even the goal of the people making the movie, the people financing the movie, people releasing the movie. Yeah,
I mean, the thing I go back to is like there's a Neil Gaiman is a piece of trash, and I hesitate to cite anything from Sandman, which even before he was a piece of trash was wildly overrated. But there's a one-off in the second or third like graphic novel or trade paperback of Sandman, where it's Shakespeare with all the like fairies and pixies from Midsummer Night's Dream putting on a production of it. And there's a panel in it where one of the young actors, you know, brings a pie. Yes, we got one. Okay, Med510, subscribe for 16 months saying not to interrupt this thoughtful conversation, but you did, and we thank you for doing so, Meg.
Interrupt it all you want.
Interrupt it all you want. But so this actor brings the director of the theater troupe a pie, and he's like, hey, I thought it'd be really funny if in the second act I sat on the pie. I thought that would get a laugh. And the director's basically like, yeah, it would get a laugh. That doesn't make it good art, you know? And so are we like just sitting on pies, or are we trying to make Midsummer Night's Dream, you know? And I think certainly for the Ellisons and the Zaslavs of the world, like, you know, you can look at WB's very recent history and be like, hey, they don't care whether or not Supergirl was a good movie or even if anyone saw it, you know? Like, they don't care if Coyote vs. Acme was actually like good art. They were able to make more money shelving it. Yeah, right. And if they're looking at a movie that's already made with an IP like Wile E. Coyote, you know, and they're going, nah, shelve it. That's where the money comes from. They don't care whether or not the movie's good. I think they should. I think it's bad to not care if the movie's good. But I think that's kind of where it is, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think this is another side effect that I didn't even consider about media companies getting this big. You know, the idea that a movie has to make like hundreds of millions of dollars to be considered successful is a pretty new phenomenon. Movies used to make like tens of millions and be like, wow, that was a great movie and that was pretty successful. Yeah. But now it has to make hundreds of millions, close to $1 billion. Otherwise it's like a commercial failure. Yeah. And I think that's because companies have become so big that there's so much expense that they do need that much money to like survive. Back in the day, companies were like, wait, there's so many more small companies. I mean, A24, as you know, kind of big they are, they don't make huge amounts of money. No. They make a pretty good amount of money, but it's like about, I feel like, the same amount of money as an old studio back in the day.
Yeah.
But they're a smaller company. A company like Disney, unless you're raking in as much as the entertainment side is, or the parks side is, unless you're making as much as these other branches, it doesn't make sense to keep going. It's kind of like another random metaphor is like NVIDIA, where they are right now they're an AI company. They used to make GPUs for gaming, for gamers. That is so small now that they basically stopped doing that.
Yes.
And so in the same way,
it's really just the AI people are buying up all the GPUs that were being made for gamers. Yeah.
So in that way, if the movie side of Disney isn't making almost billions of dollars, they're gonna have to reconsider that stuff. So
yeah, I think one parallel you can look at too is like, in video games, the video game industry, if you play, but the video game industry dwarfs the film industry in terms of revenue every year. It's not even close. You add up film, TV, music, video games is still more than double than that. And we've seen a lot of similar consolidation in games, and a lot of, the equivalent of going for the big blockbuster movie in games has been, since Fortnite came out, everybody wants their massively multiplayer online shooter that is someone's forever game that they're going to play for a decade, And recently a game came out trying to do that called High Guard, and it failed pretty spectacularly. And there's been a lot of discussion. If you read sites like gamesindustry.biz, which is sort of like a public-facing trade journal, basically, there's a lot of discussion over like, hey, is that model broken? And so do movies need to be good in this model? No. But maybe some of the creative people who make movies can think of a better model. Like we have different distribution platforms now, in the same way that when the Wii came out, the Nintendo eShop enabled a whole new generation of indie games through that more massively democratized distribution model. Same way in the olden days, Twitter democratized news reporting. Maybe we can see something similar in the next 5 to 10 years with the film industry. I think that'd be great. Will we? I don't know.
Or will it become a dead medium like the opera or ballet?
Oh, let's go to Xiaomei.
That's true.
Let's go to Xiaomei. You've all heard Timothée Chalamet talking about how opera and ballet are on the outs. We have a clip here that someone put together on Twitter. I wish I had written down the name of the person, where they're showing him saying this over the years. Brian, roll the clip.
I started to get the sense maybe it was like opera or ballet or something.
He loves bringing this line, man. He loves this opera line.
And then like we're calling by her name, and lady.
We're up backstage, and I don't want to be working in ballet or opera or.
Is that AI?
It's like, hey, keep this thing alive.
No, I think it's
Yeah. All respect to the ballet and opera people out there. I just lost 14 cents in viewership.
14 cents?
I just took shots for no reason.
That's not a shot. I hear what you're saying.
Double down here.
So,
I hate to say it, I kind of agree with Timothy. I think he's being a dick here, but I also think he has a point.
Well, yeah, I think even though you played most of it, he's also talking about like the availability of the medium.
Yes.
Right.
And how it, as well as it is dying out, it's also like not accessible to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like a ballet costs a lot to go to. They're
Yes.
always very at these fancy big city theaters. Same with opera. As opposed to like kind of going back to your discussion is like he's not wrong in the sense of like it's like the Doctor Strange, like there's so many possibilities and there's only one where we win, where it's like we could be going down a path where movies are rare and they're very expensive to make and to
And
go
to
to
see. Yeah.
and to access, as opposed like you can't even like it's very hard to even get like VODs of a ballet or like going to like the like I understand why Broadway and like just like the theater industry is very like they don't love to like release these like VODs of their plays and stuff, but it's like I don't know, it also like there's the conversation of like does it make it accessible to people that can't go to Broadway or can't go to these big cities and these theaters. And so I'm team Timmy.
Yeah,
Team
Brian,
Timmy.
what about you? You team Timmy?
I think I am team Timmy in like the messaging he's saying, yeah, it's true that. I mean, he was mostly speaking on just his own personal worries that the theater would end up like that.
Yeah.
And so I don't even think he was making like a statement about any of these art forms other than he had a personal worry. I think maybe because he has been saying this for years now.
When he grew up in the ballet theater, which I didn't know, but you can imagine that like the relevance of an art form like ballet or dance more broadly, you know, like my sister was a dance major. And so like every time Alvin Ailey came anywhere near our town, we'd go see it. But, you know, like you can imagine the relevance of something like that, the profitability of pursuing a career in that was something that was like deeply, like that was probably a constant conversation in his house, you know, like
100%.
I don't think there's more ballet jobs now than there were a decade ago. Same with opera, you know. I don't think that makes them inherently bad, but I agree with Abby that like there's an elitism around opera specifically for me that I chafe against, where I'm like, no man, you got to dress up just to fucking see it, just to see this fucking thing. You got to own a suit. Fuck you, you know, like they're not trying to make it accessible. They're not trying to go for a broader audience. That's fine, but by narrowing your audience, you are making it less broadly relevant.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think this last clip that like went viral, I think the only reason why it did is because the way he said, like,
he's being very dismissive.
Yeah, he specifically like, oh, we lost 14 cents of viewership. I don't know what
so
that means.
Crass. It's so crass. It makes me not want to agree with him, even though I'm like, yeah, I don't think those art forms are as relevant now as they were 100 years ago. You know, like I just don't. I think that's a really hard argument to make, that they're increasing in relevance or that they have the same relevance as they once did.
It's true.
But when you follow it up with, I just lost 14 cents in viewership, then you go like, I don't think you care about it for art reasons, man. I think you're just looking at the bottom line. Like, you can't pretend to want to be in it for the art and then immediately be like, oh boy, my stock price, it's taking a tumble. You know, like, that's gross. That's like, you know, being the head of a pharmaceutical company, being like, we want to help people get, you know, we want sick people to get better. Ooh, but the IPO, you know, more opiates, you know, like it just, it feels disingenuous.
Yeah, I think he thought that joke was just going to kill. Because he's been practicing. He's been practicing for like years. He's like, oh, it's just like opera and ballet. Nobody watches opera and ballet, right, guys? And for some reason, that crew was like not really feeling it.
His publicist was on there, like,
yeah.
To me.
And the fact that he doubled, like, I think he felt the awkwardness, so he doubled down with the joke where he pretended to do opera in like a funny way. And I was like, no, dude, it was a bad joke. It was a bad joke.
I mean, I'll say this as someone who lived through, so, you know, for those who don't know me personally, first off, congrats. Your life is better for it.
What the heck?
You know, secondly, like, you know, I moved to LA in 2004, you know, and at that point in time, long form improv, as stupid as this is to say now, was becoming a live art form that was overtaking stand-up as a place to discover like the next talent, you know, and this is where you'd see people get cast on sitcoms and be like, oh my God, that dude was on Beer Shark Mice. Oh my God, that's a UCB guy. Everybody on Daily Show was coming out of UCB New York. I lived through the peak of that and watched podcasts and YouTube overtake it and make it less relevant. Like, these things happen, you know, like not everything can always be peaking, you know, and I totally hear people being like, you know, Timothy Chalamet should be lifting up all other art forms. That's fine. But you're also allowed to say, like, I'm worried that the art form I'm most interested in has had its best days behind it. I want it to have its best days in front of it. I want to be part of that. I'm worried that's not happening. If you say that, people are on your side. If you use that emotion to then be like, ooh, 14 cents. And it's like, I don't know, man.
A lot going on.
Yeah, there's just a lot to unpack there. I think that's probably it for our show today. We can circle back to more of the Pete Docter stuff, but I feel like we're on Chalamet now.
Yeah, sorry to...
No, you're good.
No,
you get a great segue.
You know what? I will just button this with the Pete Docter stuff because Abby had had seen an earlier screening of Elio. One of the things that Pete Docter had said, or that came out in this Wall Street Journal about Pete Docter, was that they took out earlier versions of Elio that suggested the character Elio. Sorry, I'm thinking of the pizzas, the little square ones. They took out a lot of stuff that suggested Elio was gay. including a pink bicycle and a scene in which he imagined raising a child with his crush. You saw both versions of the movie.
Yes, I worked at a trailer house, and fun fact about trailer houses is they send early cuts of movies to the trailer houses so that you can start working on a trailer. Because my company had worked on like the first teaser that was in like if you see that teaser, it is not the movie that came out. I've also seen the Army Hammer cut of that soccer movie that he got kicked out of. That I can't remember the Next Goal Wins. Next Goal Wins. That's movie history for you right there.
Wow.
Yeah, I have seen it, and it was already an okay movie back then, but I will say it made a lot of the final cut seem half-assed and also like half-baked.
Sure.
Because there was like a lot of elements there to both the character and the story that never seemed like fully executed, and it just fell very flat. And so I can say I was there.
Yeah, and like, you know, kind of to Brian's point about like, well, does a movie need to be good? You know, like the bigger these places are, the more shots they're taking, the wider of an audience they have to appeal to. You know, like another thing, Pete Docter said they don't want to make millions of dollars of therapy. They don't want to make things that are autobiographical. They need like big, you know, we need big hits.
It's so interesting that the CEO of Pixar is talking like that.
Yes.
Because that's never been like what has made Pixar successful.
Well, and the company culture is super inclusive.
Yes.
Like they have gender neutral bathrooms. They really support their LGBTQ employees, you know?
I just feel like even before like having concrete like evidence of inclusivity, like it just in itself was, the stories were very like inclusive and very like, I don't know, not therapy movies, but they were just
they
normal.
made you feel.
They were normal things that anyone can relate to. You know, if you're really, you know, if you have an addiction to scaring children or whatever. I'm just kidding. But no, I just have felt like that's so interesting because I feel like in the 2020s, a lot of the recent Pixar movies are almost like parodies of themselves.
Yeah.
In terms of what they're selling. And they're like, well, we just need a wacky thing. And like, it almost just feels like AI or Google Translate wrote it. In terms of the heart, like it's just it's not super genuine as opposed to like the older, more original films.
Some of which Pete Docter directed.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you watch that opening scene of Up, you're just like, oh God, lost.
Inside Out, like I associate with him a lot, and it's like I think like the word therapy is such a harsh word.
I also, as someone who's been in therapy for 20 years, I really don't fucking like him stigmatizing it like this.
Sure.
I fucking hate that shit.
Especially when a lot of his movies are so like mental health supportive.
Yes.
Like that's my take on Inside Out is like it's very like I don't know. It's just like there's so especially when I've not even personally, but like a lot of these movies you can interpret them and get a lot of good things out of them.
Yeah.
You know, especially with like just like concepts, introducing that to children, like in Inside Out, like in Up, like I don't know, Wall-E, like Ratatouille. I'm sure like there's life lessons that can be therapy. I don't know. It just is very disheartening article, especially with the release of Hoppers, which I think does not fit the like bad Pixar movie streak that has been happening. Yeah. And it feels more OG and it feels genuine. I do know that the report a while ago was that they tried to make that less like save the earth narrative.
Sure.
But I don't know. It was just very sad.
Yeah, it was a really disappointing series of quotes to hear from somebody in not only such a high creative position at a studio that I have really connected to over the years, but also like one that makes movies I watch with my daughter. You know, like she won't watch anything with me now. She's 13. I am persona non grata. I accept that. I will come back into her good graces when she gets to college and needs money. That's just how it goes. And that's how it should go. But it is for somebody who has such a direct line to the mental health of kids who might feel queer or have like emotions that they don't know how to process on their own and might need someone to goose their parent into having a conversation with, to specifically be like, I'm going to take that away from them. I don't think that's good. You know, like, that feels really bad.
There's so many issues that they've already covered in Pixar over the last 30 years. Like, it just was such a weird...
Yeah. And what's he think? We're all going to go to the opera or the ballet to talk about this stuff?
Exactly.
We're going to watch Nessun Dorma, you know, and hear that?
Yeah.
But yeah.
I feel that, you know, Pixar, I don't know if you guys agree, but there's been a general sense that Pixar has been like on a downturn. There's like a peak Pixar where everyone's like, you gotta see Pixar. But after a certain point, maybe it was like since Onward.
Onward was a little tough.
It was like, oh, we don't really need to see Pixar movies anymore.
As opposed to Coco.
Sure, yeah.
Like, you know, Coco, which was 2017, I think that was the last non-sequel Pixar had. That was like a major
Incredibles
hit.
2 was 2018. And
Yeah.
then Toy Story 4 was 2019.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I might be missing one.
Yeah, because Encanto was Disney, right? Encanto was great, but
and
that was
that's
Disney.
2020.
I thought it was Disney.
Yeah, like, but yeah, they've been on a little bit of a slump.
And so I'm sure he's trying to figure out what's the slump. And there was, maybe it's biased because I was reading this article, but when you look at the stories, like before, there were a lot of like big picture, like general stories, but with weird worlds, like Toy Story, the world is like Toys Are Alive, Bugs Life, Alive Bugs, Cars, everything is something is alive. But eventually they went to more personal stories. Like these stories are about people's specific experiences. Like Onward was about, I forget the director, but their specific experience with grieving their loss of their father. And they try to do more of that. And I think he thinks that that's what's the problem. But if you look at a story like Elemental, where if you look at the box offices, it actually did pretty well comparatively. And that was a very specific story about a woman wanting to make their father proud and take over their company.
And it was an immigrant.
And it was like an immigrant story,
second
second-gen story. But that's still the setting, the atmosphere, and the storytelling, I think, still uplifted that.
I think the problem's not autobiography or heavy themes. If I had to guess, the problem is probably, hey, we had like a yes, trash bag appeared. Oh no, Marky Mark 9520. Thank you.
Oh,
Pavloving me. But I think the problem is not that it's autobiographical. I think the problem is not that the themes are too heavy, or anything like that. I think the problem is just the execution wasn't there, and like. That's okay. Not every movie is great, but when I see a studio have a problem with execution across several movies, I don't think the problem is with the creators. I think it's with the round table of execs at the High Council that are noting them into oblivion.
And that's the thing, right? Is like, we've heard about that with like Lucasfilm. It's not about queer stories, but just stupid stuff like the Kylo Ren movie or better ideas that in your head you're like, that would have been so cool. Or I don't know, Pixar always just felt like your cool gay cousin at Thanksgiving that you don't really see that much, but like they're a really good time, and then to find out they're also not cool.
I think I was just thinking about that right now. I think what also doesn't help Pixar is the fact that when Pixar first came on the scene, they were like the giants in 3D animated movies. They were maybe the only ones who did it really well. I think in this current era, we have had so much variety of different really good 3D movies that it's hard to really separate or to see Pixar as something different. The Spider-Verse changed the game completely. And after Spider-Verse, that kind of 3D animation was what was like popular. Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, kind of like also built upon that and was also a very dynamic movie. And I think Pixar is not a very, the animation style is not very dynamic, it's not very like eye-catching in a way that I think captures the current audience. People make fun of the whole bean mouth thing, it's like the whole art style of feeling safe and boring, whereas Spider-Verse and Puss in Boots was like action and weird stretches and like,
something
this is
like
crazy.
Mitchell's versus the Machines.
That too,
Also, they already made a gay movie. Luca.
That's true. That's true. That is a gay movie.
No, I agree. I feel like maybe they're losing their identity a little bit because they were at the forefront of technology. Like when it's like,
the tech was like
think of like some of their marketing, or at least as someone who's watched all of the DVD extras, is like, look at how we had to animate like Sully's hair, like, and then like 10 years later, it's like even Merida's hair is crazy. Like, I don't know. I think they're in their flop era and they can't handle it.
Yeah, I think also like not every movie has to be for everybody. You know, like Kurt Vonnegut has that quote, like, you know, write a story to please just one person. If you open your window to make love to the world, your story will catch its death of cold. Like, dude, Vonnegut guy has a couple of winners.
It's just so interesting because it's like Inside Out, and Inside Out 2 is like, it's just a little girl's head, and those movies make $1 billion.
Yeah,
but then they get so freaked out about one gay character in their Disney Plus show no one was going to watch anyway, that they get so up in arms, or get so, I don't know.
It does feel weird to be like, our movies aren't working, and you know why? It's the gays. It's like, don't scapegoat.
Because of the other issues, they've never even fully like
embraced.
They've never fully embraced that, or like had a whole like. Yes. Sorry, you're gonna tell me the gay bus in Cars 3 is like turning away.
Have you guys watched the other two?
Yes.
When Drew Tarver gets gloppy, and he's like, it's like so brave that I'm doing this thing, and then the character's just like. But like that's that's so on point.
He's always like, people always bring that clip around too. It's like, or just like the gay cop in Onward, or I'm trying to think the other the kiss in Lightyear that they cut. That's not like, until you do real representation and it flops, like let me know, because even some of those other movies that you reference like have queer characters, and it's like, it's fine. It's just so annoying. Like 100%. Honestly. Annoying.
I think to your point, I think it is like Disney, the executive group are like, we don't want to even deal with any kind of anything. So you got to make it the most safe, the most like cookie cutter thing. And I think that's the problem, you know?
And that's how you get movies like The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah. No,
damn.
100%.
I'm just
Actually,
speaking truth.
The Good Dinosaur was, I remember distinctly, that was the moment I was like, I don't really want to watch Pixar anymore. I don't care anymore.
I saw it. My like a recurring theme for my life is I go to D23 where they show like trailers, and you're like, oh my god, it's so good. Like you're sobbing and you're shown out of context scenes, and then you're like, and you see the movie and you're like, oh.
That's so funny.
But no, I don't know. It's very deeply offensive to me that Pixar doesn't have it together, because they always appeared together. They used to be like that bitch. Like there's a reason they got bought, you know, like, and it's because Disney didn't know what to do with them, because they were distributing their films, but they were competition.
Right.
And so, because it used to just be the two of them for the most part, unless you want to argue Land Before Time and Don Bluth movies really like were competing. They weren't, you know.
I mean, as much as I grew up on Secret of NIMH, I can't pretend it had the same impact as like, you know, I don't know what Disney was doing in that same era. When I was a kid, 80s, Sword in the Stone.
Yeah. They're just playing it too safe. Disney's making them too safe.
Yeah, really.
They gotta do something. They gotta do something.
So to answer your question, Brian, no one makes movies for art anymore.
That's actually so true. That's actually so true.
I hope you feel that that's been answered.
It has been answered.
We've come all the way back around. And the answer is money.
Oh, nice.
I hope that in like 2 years, like some ballet dancer is on McConaughey's show and is like, I don't want to be doing a film.
True.
Okay, well, that's it for us today, you guys. Real quick, we got a couple shouts, a couple plugs, a couple things we got to do, a little housekeeping at the end. First off, make sure to like and subscribe. It's free. It costs you nothing. It helps us out a ton. So please and thank you. Like and subscribe. Follow us on socials. Breakroom NR on everything. And on Twitch. If you were here on Twitch today, thank you so much. You know now that if you if you give in some of your Twitch bits or whatever, you will cause me to pump my fist automatically. I don't even think about it. Also, if you're looking to support the channel more broadly and you want to get yourself some tea, a little bit of merch, Go to nerdriot.shop. Buying a tee from nerdriot.shop is one of the best ways you can see. Yes! See, there it is. I don't know who did that. It was Christian Unpronounceable and Mario Anthony. Yes!
This is all right.
Oh, no.
Did you just turn it on because you're over here?
No, well,
No, it's on. I just don't know.
yeah.
Okay, but go to nerdriot.shop. Please buy some tees and stuff. Yeah, stop it. This is you guys see. You see me.
Keep going.
What's
Keep interrupting Berg.
I think that's it. This
That's
outro's
it.
gone on long enough. You guys have socials? Yes!
Thank you.
Alex Reyes, Lady Ash, Prime subscribers for 20 months and 28 months. Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Meg510 saying we've broken Berg. I was broken all along. Yes! Okay, we need to stop.
No, keep going. Keep
stop.
going.
We're-
Keep it going. Hype
going.
it up. Hype it up.
I need to pee so bad. My phone is blowing up because my dog is sick. There's so much going on
God.
right now.
Oh, gosh.
Yes! So we need to end it. Let's end the. Okay, I'm going to end the YouTube portion here. Then we'll say goodbye to all the. Yes! To all the
Oh my
Twitch
goodness.
people. This is so insane. No, not
going.
Gigi. Brejal is sick. Gigi is fine. Brejal is sick. Okay. All right. That's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching the Break Room. We'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.